Hi everybody, it's Dr. McDowell, and today we're going to talk about the Multigenre Research Project. This is hands down my favorite project that we do, and I'm really sad that we can't do this face to face, but we're going to make it work. So let's just jump right in. First question, what is a multi-genre research project? Well, there's this person named Tom Romano who developed the multi-genre project, and this is a quote directly from his book where he defines defines it as a multi-genre paper arises from research, experience, and imagination. It is not an uninterrupted expository monologue, nor a seamless narrative, nor a collection of poems. Multi-genre paper is composed of many genres and subgenres, each piece self-contained, making a point of its own, yet connected by theme or topic and sometimes by language, images, and content. In addition to many genres, a multi-genre paper may also contain many voices, not just the authors. The trick is to make such a paper hang together. So let's break this down a little bit. Ideally, we would be doing research, hence the name Multi-Genre Research Project. By the way, here's a new title, the Coronavirus Edition. However, I know that some of you do not have strong internet at home. I know some of you cannot go to the library because they are all closed, so I'm pulling the research component out of this. If you can do research and you want to challenge yourself to do research, I would encourage you to do so. But if you are not in a position to actually do research, then I would say pick a topic that you know a lot about, that you feel comfortable writing about. So you're going to have a topic, and then you'll conduct a project in which you're going to write at least 10, that was 10, now it's 8. 8 pieces of writing that flow together as one document. You will be expected to write each piece using the writing process and to participate in writing workshops to revise and edit each piece. Now, the writing workshops is going to be a little strange because we're not face to face. I'm currently considering making them a part of Canvas, so we'll see. You'll also submit a reflection about your writing process. So, in an effort to simplify this project, we're going to break this down to steps with separate due dates. Also, as I said earlier, I'm removing the research components as not all of you have strong internet access nor library access to actually conduct research. So use the honor system here. If you can do research, please find something new to research. If you can't, I understand. So step 1, we need to review genres. So if you click on this handy dandy hyperlink, this genre table will pop up. I'll ask you to make a copy. Even my internet's a little slow. And these are not all the genres in the world, but there's a lot of them. Take a few minutes, go ahead and pause this video, take a few minutes, and just read through this. If we were face to face, I would have you highlight the ones you're familiar with in one color and the ones you're not familiar with in a second color. So go ahead and just pause this video, read through this, see what genres are in this list that you've never heard of. Okay, did you find any surprises? Did you know that Facebook could be considered a narrative? Did you know what a picaresque tale is? How about tarot cards? All of these are different genres. All of them are ways to communicate information. We can break them down into categories. We have expository genres, narrative genres. Remember, narratives tell stories. We have poetry, we have visual genres, and we have technology genres. Let's go back to our assignment. So first review the genres, we did that. Second, pick a topic. 3, you're gonna write 2 narratives. You're gonna write 2 narratives. That's due either April 7th or April 8th, depending if you're in my Tuesday night class or my Wednesday morning class. You're gonna write 2 persuasive or informative pieces. You're going to write 3 poems, and then you're going to put it all together in a big multi-genre research project, and that's due April 28th or April 29th, again, depending on which class you're in. Some final project requirements. You're going to have a repetend. What is a repetend, you ask? And there goes my cell phone. A repetend is a word or phrase that is intentionally repeated in every piece to add an element of cohesion to the project. It should be more thoughtful than merely stating your thematic topic. So let's say you're doing your research project on global warming. And instead of saying, global warming is your topic, your repetend would be a word that's associated with global warming, but it's not the actual words global warming. So it could be weather, it could be climate, it could be temperature, anything that's associated. That's a repetent, and that word would be in every piece of writing. So you'd have, let's say we're doing temperature, you'd have the word temperature in both of your narratives. The word temperature would be in both of your informative, persuasive pieces, and it'd be in all three of your poems. This lends some cohesion to the project, where you can see how all the genres start to blend together to tell one story or one informative piece. In the perfect world, you would also have a unifying element. This is some kind of visual that is in each of your pieces. It could be a graphic, a border, a watermark, a repeating numeral, etc. And it should tie in your topic, but not be the same as your repetent. So if we were doing global warming as a topic and temperature as the repetent, I might need to do something like weather, like a weather map or a climate map or some kind of graph that shows an increase in temperatures. So it's not just a thermometer represent temperature, it's something totally different. Now, in a perfect world, the unifying element would be required. I know not all of you have all the bells and whistles at your homes to make this as beautiful and snazzy as you would like to. So again, I'm going to make that optional. So, and I'm going to show you so many examples of multi-genres after this video, but it really helps blend the whole project together to have a unifying element. But again, I understand if you can't make that work based on the technology you have accessible. So step 2 is optional. 3, need a title and make it catchy and unique. Do not name it My Multi-Genre Research Project. We can do so much better than that. Once you do all this, so you do all the writing, and then you check off all these things, and then you're going to write a Dear Reader letter. You need to do that last. The Dear Reader letter will be at the beginning of your project, but you're going to write it last because it's going to serve as an overview of the whole project. And it's so much easier to do that once you have the project written. So in that letter, you would introduce your topic, you would introduce your repetent, tell me your unifying element if you choose to do one, and provide a figurative roadmap that helps us navigate through your project in the form of a narrative. So you're not just doing a list, it's not a table of contents. It's a lot more fluid than that, and I will show you examples. And once I show you examples, I know this will start to click in your brain. You're gonna have 8 pieces minimum. You're gonna have, whoops, let's make that poetry 3. You have 3 poems, 2 narratives. No, it's right. It's 4. We're gonna do 4 poems. Oh man, yeah, we're gonna do 4 poems. So you're gonna have 4 poems, 2 narratives, 2 expositories. In a perfect world, let's go back to this. We would do some visual genres and some technology genres. Again, I know some of you don't have access to do these things. You could do a bulletin board. You can make a graffiti. You could make tarot cards. We talked about those earlier. A postcard. These are so easy to do digitally. And if we could, I would have you do those, but I know some of you cannot. So that's an option. And then technology. These are all these great digital story tools that, again, if I knew you had technology, I would require it because I knew you could do it in the computer labs. But I know not all of you have access to strong internet connections. So technology is also optional. But the poetry, the narrative, and the expository are required. Resources. Well, if you are doing research, then you'll have a resource page. If you're not doing research, then you're not going to have a resource page. Okay, again, I'm using the honor system here. It's not about the research, it's more about you learning how to take information and disseminate it in all these different formats, which ties into the whole class reading, writing, and the content area. You're going to submit this project in one continuous format, such as Word, PowerPoint, Prezi, etc. If you decide to do a Prezi delivery method, it does not count as one of your genres unless you want to do a Prezi within a Prezi, but that only matters if you're doing a technology piece. Then I have a checklist for you. You can check off all of these things. Make sure your repetent is bolded, underlined, or italicized. Make it obvious what your repetent is. Don't make me guess. I don't want to hunt for it. It should be just boom for me to see. If you're doing a unifying element, it should be visible in each piece. And it should be different than your repetent, so you can check all these off before you submit it to Canvas. You'll have 2 narrative pieces, 2 informative pieces. Again, visual is optional. Technology pieces, optional. For poems. Resources are included at the end. If you did actual research, I still want sources. Those resources have to be alphabetized. They have to be in IPA formatting. You're going to submit this through Canvas. And then the goal is that you're learning something new from this research. Again, if you can actually do research, then we can do that. Otherwise, we're just going to have to make it work. So this is just the overview video. I'm going to have a series of videos that follow this to talk about the narrative pieces, the persuasive pieces, each of the different steps. I'm going to have lots of videos to help break down the poetry, because I know some of you are a little shy when it comes to poetry. And I will also have videos that show you some examples of multi-genre projects. I'm trying not to overwhelm you with one giant 80-minute video, so I'm just going to do a series of short ones. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, email me. And I'm sad that we won't see each other again this semester. Really sad, but I will see you all in the fall, hopefully. So otherwise, stay safe. Don't touch your face, wash your hands, stay home, and take care.